Hello everyone, this is Cool, and you are currently watching my basic beginner's tutorial, which will cover how I myself draw a character from the ground up, but more, what do I say, bare bones than usual. So I'm going to be drawing a lot of armature stuff, which includes circles and lines and measurements, hence graph paper, which I made. So I will post a link to that in the description if you want it, because people ask about that. Anyway, thank you very much to Girish Manjunath, this person, and thank you also to Grave Gear and Yuda Husky. As you can see, they are next to what they requested. And also, canvas size is there with resolution right there. People like asking about that, so that's a thing. Now, we will sketch. I am using the airbrush tool at, let's say, 10. And now, we will start off with a circle. Not that small. A circle. Ooh, that's not bad. There's my test of seeing if something is circular as I just do that. Okay. As you can see, I have my key presses up there so that you know what I'm doing. So I don't constantly have to say, oh yeah, so A for airbrush, B for brush, I mean pencil, E and then for erasing. Okay, anyway, A for airbrush. As we can see, we have a nice grid over here, so I can find the very middle of it easily, and then from there we can draw our center line right down the middle of the face. Okay, Control T to move it around. I just don't have to keep saying that. So yeah, find the middle, which is about there, and then take this distance, divide it in half, and then use that distance to extend this line down to the chin. And that's where the chin will be. I find this method a lot easier than drawing an oval for the face or an egg shape or something like that, because that's hard to reproduce, and sometimes you get fat faces, sometimes you get skinny faces, and I have stopped doing a tutorial because I am ranting about something unrelated. So now from here I start at the chin and then I go outwards to make the jawline. Now you go about, I don't know, maybe 2/3 from the middle to the outside, and that will be where you connect it to the head. Try to make it tangent with this circle, so just, make it nice and smooth along there, and then connect, and then you can smooth out this part too. Do the same thing on the other side. At least try to. Sometimes symmetry is just unobtainable. It's hard sometimes. Now you can erase the rest of this circle. Take this back in, and then about halfway through this entire line, you'll use that mark, and then we'll draw a line, a curve that goes down, because she'll be looking a little bit downwards. As it is Halloween Eve, at least when I'm recording this, when you watch this, it'll probably be Halloween. If you do watch this and don't just find it randomly, or I don't know what I'm saying. This is my 3rd time recording this, by the way. The first time was just horrible. Like, it just didn't turn out well. And the second time I had corrupted files, so that's super fun. It's okay, it's gonna be pretty quick, hopefully, so it won't bore you and I won't go crazy. So here are the eyes. As you can see, the proportions here is this distance is equal to this distance approximately. Of course, other styles will call for different proportions. This distance equals this distance, and that equals this distance. These are just small distances, so you don't really need to worry about them too much. Now, I will do something illegal. I'm just going to tilt it that way, because if I try to draw it myself in this orientation, these grid lines mess me up like no other. So I will cheat. Okay, and now this goes here, and this goes here. These are the necklines, and now we will draw the shoulder lines, which are pretty important. So first, we draw a line. A very light line, just really easy. And now, about the distance of the width of the head, make that the width of this line. So you can see that goes there, that goes there. So, you know, a little less actually in the style that I use, if you want to follow along with my style. And then, actually no, I'll keep this a little, way less. This one down here, small shoulders, small width. And now we will draw the general gesture of our entire figure. So our character is going to be a little bendy, contorty. Contorty, is that a word? That is not a word, I'm sorry. I make up words and I do not regret it. Okay, so this distance over here, I will use my name. I just forgot words. I'm sorry. I named this layer measure because that's what I'm going to use to measure things. So I'm on my measure layer, Control T, and then I take that distance and I put it right here. Bump. Actually, I'll put it a little to the side so I can draw and know what I'm doing. So there's that. That distance is the bottom of the chest line, not where the ribs are, but where the bottom of the booby area is. Okay, and now we will take this and we'll go down here. I usually don't do this, but it makes the point I'm trying to get across a lot easier. Take this, do that, rotate, bop, 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 and then mark that spot. And our measure stick can go away for now. Now, see, yay! If you're doing this on pencil and paper and you can't, you know, pull lines up from the paper and twist them, you can just use your pencil and just put your fingernail where the distance is from the tip. That's what I usually do if I need to do measuring. Okay. And now, let's see. Find the halfway mark between these bottom two lines and draw your hip line right across it. Try to make it, you know, perpendicular to that line or wherever that angle is at that point. And now we will, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we'll take our measuring thing again. We'll delete that with D. And then we'll take this distance instead. Take that, rotate it this way, and this will be our approximate distance for the hip line. I'll make it a teeny bit bigger. And there. Put our measuring stick away. And there is our hip line. Now we'll draw these halfway marks in between there and there. And these will be our hip joints. Actually, before we get into that, let us continue with that. I'm so good at talking. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll get this. D for delete. And now we will measure from here to there, and that will be the length of a leg, approximately. Everything is approximate. Things can change depending on foreshortening or other such methods. So that will be there. You can take our measure stick again, go all the way down here, because angles exist. And then we'll take everything and put it up a little bit because her foot would not fit if I did that. Planning! Okay, we'll deselect that, we'll put this over here, and then I'll put this over here. Oh man, all the other times I did this tutorial I'd never used the measuring stick this much, but yeah, it's kind of nice. One thing that you need to remember when you're drawing your leg lines is, unless you're doing some foreshortening, no, wait. Let me rephrase that. This length that you determine, you can never let your joints be bigger than that length, because that's physically impossible. I can't stretch my finger out more than it is. But you can make them shorter, because when you foreshorten, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and you can just blame your inconsistencies on foreshortening. Unless you actually mean to do that, in which case, bravo! You're amazing. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, so this hip line, something that I usually make a mistake on is I keep the curve going, but your groin doesn't curve like that. You can just keep it straight after you get to the hip line. So that's the thing, and now we will continue with drawing this sketch. Now you can see these two lines are of equal length, as they usually are close to in real life, and they are also staggered because legs are not straight. When you draw a leg, or just look at your own leg as you stand up, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be I'm sorry, words are so hard. It's going to be coming out to the side, outwards like that, a bit. And now I will immediately contradict myself as I draw this leg and have it going out this way. And as you can see, they're not offset, it's just rotated because this knee is actually pointing in that direction as opposed to this knee, which is pointing towards us. Now from there, I will draw that. Here is where the foot's gonna be. Is facing us, and this foot is coming out at us. So I won't get into any details right now. Just make sure that things are generally on the same level. Actually, this one, I failed to do that immediately. So I will cheat and edit it so that it is. So this foot, as you can see, is flat on the ground. This one is bent upwards. Man, I'm just full of contradictions today because I'm immediately adding in detail, which I said I wouldn't, so I'll stop right there. Actually, I gotta make it consistent. Symmetry, right? Okay. So we have somewhat of a foot there. It's horrible. Oh, whatever. Okay, and now we have an armature with no arms, which is funny. Armature, no arm. Is that just an ature? I'm sorry. Okay, now we will start to flesh it out, but not completely, because we just need a little bit for this part. Here, you can draw in the chest box. One thing to take into account is for this body type, I have this line be a little longer than this line, which means when you draw these lines downwards towards it, go inwards just a teeny bit. Okay, so what we want now are shoulders. We can have our shoulders come out here. Just gradually blend in the neck into the top of the box. Actually, that side is going to be weird, so I'm not going to talk about it yet. And here, and then make a little, like a rounded shoulder triangle. And this is where your arm will just come out of. Usually, when I draw this triangle, the arm will just be going down like that, but this is a different pose. I don't even know why I mentioned that. Okay, sorry. The bottom of the triangle is going to be about halfway down the box. You can mark that point on the other side too, which we will draw now. This one, the shoulder is going to be all the way up because her arm is going to be like hyperextended upwards. So just remember that the shoulder has all this muscle, and when you raise your arm, your muscle contracts and you're flexing your big shoulder muscle thing. And that is anatomy or science. Science. Okay. Now I usually draw the elbow, but in this case I don't know why I even mentioned these things, what I usually do compared to what I am going to do right now, which is make another sketch layer. Because sketch 2. I'm going to make the arms, and the arms are going to overlap with this top torso area. So I will draw a wrist joint right here. Wrist joint is going to be there, and this wrist joint will be approximately here. So her elbows are going to be completely bent, like as far as you can, because she's going to do some witchcraftery of some sort. So this distance actually I can make full as I usually do, which will be just make sure that you have your pivot point for your shoulder, which is about there. This pivot point is up there, we'll keep that in mind. And the distance between here and the elbow, usually when you're standing up, will be right at the belly button, which is approximately there. So keep that distance, and we will kind of make a little semicircle until we reach where our elbow feels natural being. So our elbow is going to be right over there. And now we can delete or just erase all that other stuff. And now we can draw in our stuff. Yay! And now this same distance, use it over here. I usually like to start, I calculate at least my distance with the more normal side. Since this side has a dropped shoulder and this side has a raised shoulder, this one is more normal, so that's where I make my comparisons to. This one, if you drop that length down here, is barely past the little booby line, so yeah, that's just because your shoulder is raised, so all these points of reference raise also. And now we will draw hands, or at least the gestures of the hands. In this case, I'm trying to make the whole thing kind of in line with this curve. So I'll keep that curve there, draw a line here and a line here. If you want to get a little more acquainted with drawing hands, I've done a tutorial video on that, at least actually 2, but one of them is better, which is the newer one, so go watch that if you want to, please. Okay, and now that's there, and our fingers are about the same length as it is from the wrist to the knuckle line. And sorry, I just had to rub my face for a second, so I lost my place on the keys. So that goes there, that goes there. This goes here. Oh my gosh, I just went to the other screen. Okay, there, there, and there, I think. No, wrong. The way I'm planning this out is this will actually be the top of her middle finger. Her pointer finger will be behind it. Here will be her pointer, or no, her ring finger, and here is her pinky. And this one actually has all fingers on it, just in the front. So that's that, and that. With the thumb coming out there a teeny bit. I said I wouldn't go into details, but you know, I don't mean anything I say, so whatever. Okay, so that is hands and stuff. Wait, where did her pinky go? Okay, so this is the armature. Okay, now it is time to flesh her out. So let us go to our normal sketch layer. We can make this, no, not that one, this one. Bring our opacity down so we can see what we're doing. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. Sketch! Now, one thing to note here is ribs exist, so kinda, you know, suggest that they exist here. Don't need to make anything too fancy. Just have it so that you're not bending right after the booby line. And that helps me to not have the bend there. So right after the rib area, we'll bend out towards the hip. And we will intersect right there, which is the widest part of the hips. And we will do the same over here. Since her body is being stretched out on this side and being crunched on that side, we have some stretching happening over here. And a longer line to the hips. Okay, that's that. You can draw a little bit of a hip bone if you want in there. Let's keep things in order. Yep. And now we will flesh out the legs. Continue this line all the way down. Right to the leg. Or right to the knee, sorry. And now this one, we have... what am I doing? What just happened? I don't... Oh, okay. I drew something weird. This one usually goes down a teeny bit more, and then will come out. Maybe I just drew the exact same thing. I'm not sure. But, anywho, I think I... Oh, no. When I redrew the crotch line, I drew it too low. Okay, this makes sense now. So, just so you can get a better idea of what is actually physically happening here, draw a line from this crotch line to the sides of the hips. You'll pass not through these, but maybe a little below them. And now we will draw down to the knees. Just keep your arc going with it. And now from this crotch line, continue down to the knee also. Remember that there is space in the crotch. Anyone who has a pointy crotch, that's not a thing. So, yeah, that's that. This is just a guide, so I'm going to make this a bit more continuous. That's kind of a weird line. But it will do as I undo it. Huh. Okay. Yep, okay. Now we will do the knee section. Right up here is where we'll start curving out, and right down here is where we'll start curving out there. Remember that the calves will show through the back a teeny bit, and then it'll get skinny towards the ankle. Same thing with this side. Skinny towards the ankle. I'll reduce that a bit actually. And if you want to denote where the knee is a little better, you can draw this little line that outlines it a teeny bit. It won't always be there if you look at a real person, but there is a dip there that people are familiar with, so it'll help with the illusion of a knee. And now here, we can draw our straight line, maybe actually curving away from the line for once. And here is our calf, which is defined fairly well. I think our ankle is a bit too low as we drew it. So that'll be there. This will be here. Okay, so we got some legs and we got hips. These are actually a bit skinnier than I usually draw them, so I don't know. That's it. Actually, let's do a little measurement. So the measurement of the skinniest part of the hips, oops, or the waist, compared to one leg width. Ah, it's about the same. Okay. Okay. And now to flesh out the arms, we'll go from the outside of these wrist things, wrist circles. Start from the foreground, so from whatever's in the front. And then we'll go back. This one, actually, we'll try not to draw through our own drawing too much. but it will be done for the sake of continuity. Make sure that your line doesn't look off and out of place or something crazy. And this arm will go here. One thing to always remember about arms and elbows is as you bend your elbow, your skin, everything just gets pushed to the side. Your muscles gets pushed out. And that is always very useful to know when you draw your arms and your elbows. Now we draw this one, and we'll go meet the shoulder. Slightly defined, but not too much. Unless you want a bodybuilder lady, which is also completely fine. The bear hug of death. Okay, and now this will go out here and up there. Sorry, the armature part is done, so I'm kinda lost. I'm not sure what to do. I'm just talking as I draw normally. Eyes, I guess? I don't know. These hips are actually bothering me a teeny bit, so I'm gonna make them come out a teeny bit more. Yep. Because I want that to be apparent that her hips actually bent. Not bent, but tilted like that. Tilted away from the shoulders. Okay, I think that's good. Well, I guess it is time for the eyes. Actually, no. We'll do the leg because I don't know, it's messed up a little. So here, we'll take rectangular select, Control T, we'll move it. How should we do this? We'll use the loop select, lasso. Take this, here, and we will just move it in there. I'll just say that it's been foreshortened a little bit because that is what's happening. If I don't have this be foreshortened, then that means that all of her joints, her leg joints are planar, which means, you know, they, instead of being like that towards you, it's all flat on there, and that would hurt if your leg is twisted out and your knee is pushed to the ground like that. That would not be a comfortable thing to have happen. Yeah. Okay. So, sketch 3. I'm sorry, so far nothing about this is Halloweeny, but of the Halloween nature. Now, we will draw the face, which will be kind of crazy, so that closer to Halloween. So we'll have eyes that are a bit more devious, as you might say. I'm sorry, at the moment, not much of this is a tutorial. I think that finished a while ago, so I'm just going to be talking to you while I draw, if that's okay with you. You can just stop watching if you don't want, though. But I'll be lonely without you. I'm sorry, that was creepy. Creepy, yeah, it's fine. It's Halloween. I'm allowed to be creepy. Here, I'll just point these because otherwise people will ask what buttons I'm pressing and ask why tab and control tab don't work for them, and then I'll have to explain all about the assigning keyboard shortcuts, which is in a different tutorial video that I've already done. It was actually the second one, I think, that I've ever done, while talking, of course. I've done a couple text tutorials, but they're still video. It's just video with captions, I guess. Red letters that don't really show up too well. People seem to like that one a bit. Maybe my voice chases them away. Sorry. Okay, so we are doing editing, which is cheating, but it's not, because this is a digital drawing. I don't have to not edit. I love editing. Okay, and now we will draw the rest of the eye. just remember that, you know, your eyes will have to be a continuous shape, but we just choose not to draw parts of it because it's, oh, it's in the style. But don't draw something like this that won't match up to things, because who has an eye that goes out over there? Unless you do, in which case, good job with life. Okay, so this goes out here. What am I doing? I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah, okay. So this eye will actually be a bit more closed. The bottom of the eye will be pushed up a bit because she's going to have a crazy smile, which we will draw in a bit. Now we'll draw the eyes. It's nice to have a light touch here because if you do it too hard, things won't work out. Certain things won't show up. Okay. When you go to the second eye, make sure that you try to keep the same size iris as the other one. So this one is a bit more difficult than usual because the eye itself isn't symmetrical. It's like that. It's cutting off the bottom part a lot more than this one is. So in this case, keep it like that. It's okay if she looks crazy because she's supposed to be. Oopsish. Okay. Now we'll take out that bit and that bit, and we'll make a little shiny bit. Now we'll make it a little bigger. Yay, shiny eyes. You can't have an anime style thing without shiny eyes. I don't know, does this qualify as anime style? Yes, it does. It's just my own style of anime style. I think it's mine. Did I steal this from somewhere? I hope I didn't. That would be horrible. No, I did. From everyone who I like. That's actually how I began learning, is I just found artists that I admire, and then I tried drawing like them. And as I failed, I found my own way of drawing, I hope. Yeah, a lot of styles didn't really work for me, so I just kind of went with whatever felt natural. Always making my own tricks to make things reproducible, make it so that I can draw the same thing twice and have it look like the same thing. Or have my human characters look like humans, which I only draw human characters. Actually, I've been asked to draw a couple of anthropomorphic dog people and cat people, but I'm just no good at it, so I haven't tried before, so I don't know if I'm no good at it yet. I assume I'm no good at it? That's not a good thing to assume. You know what assuming does? It makes you assume things horribly. That's not how it goes, but I don't do words. Okay, so that's her, and she is, I don't know, not particularly great yet. We will do this. Remember, 10 is our size. We'll lag a little bit, actually. Oh, that's weird. I usually never lag with this computer. Okay. Raise this up a little more. And darken the top of the eyes. Tops of the eyes. There. Real words. With grammar. Okay. Now we'll go back to 10. And we will go to the sketch layer. Erase some of that. And actually no, go here, take this out because that's messing with things. Give her a nose. She's looking a bit down, so we're gonna have this style nose. You just see the front of the nose and a little bit of shadow. And then she's gonna gonna have a wide smile because, you know, creepy things happen. You need a wide smile for this kind of drawing. And one thing that can happen with big eyes is your mouth doesn't really have much room to exist. So what I might end up doing is taking these eyes and then putting them up a teeny bit. And also, I don't know what happened, but they got far apart somewhere in this process. So I'll move them closer together. See? You're seeing all the things that I normally do in a drawing, except unless I'm doing it traditionally, in which case I gotta live with it. Or erase it, which I hate doing. Okay, so look, she's actually just plain old happy right now. We need to get in the angry eyebrows, which mixed with the smile either makes devious or crazy, or both. Probably both. And since she is a witch, she will be both. Okay. And those are eyebrows. Now to erase the rest of these marks, guidelines. And she is currently bald. Oh my gosh, I just realized that we have an emergency. Super emergency. Somehow, in the process of drawing this little girl witch thing. Oops, sorry, I just banged the microphone. We did not. We skipped the booby area. Yeah. That's what we did. Okay, so I'll make up for that by going back to it and drawing it. That's not really making up for anything. I'm just drawing it. Okay. So, this part is a line which kind of gives you the it's the front, the tips, the foremost front part of the booby area. Yeah, that's what we do here. We will go here and draw the armpit area, and then we will continue this down into a roundish shape. And then since she is bending in one direction, her whole body is curved in that direction, we will have things pushed outwards a little in this direction to, you know, go with the trend of the drawing. Okay. Actually, I didn't. Where's my arms? Right here. I didn't finish this arm for some reason. This will show up behind it. And then behind that, we have the rest of the arm and the rest of this armpit area that will exist. And then I erase it immediately because it's behind fingers. But that gives us a way of getting to the next boob area, which will be stretched upwards because this whole arm is being stretched up, so all the skin on this half of the body is being elongated, which means none of this overhangy bit, and it means that we have some flattening going on. Don't make the lines too dark, And that's that. So if we were cell shading this, cell shading would be like that. I don't know. That's whatever. Okay. But now she has these. I think I drew that a bit too big. Okay. And back around. Right? I think that's okay. It's weird. I just reduced it and now I'm expanding again. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I totally know what I'm doing. Tutorials. Budgies are cool. And then we have a little bit of this going on. And this continues up there. That's the flow of things. All these lines that we don't really see, but exist. Okay. Actually, no, let's round that a teeny bit more. Because, anime style, gravity doesn't exist. You have all these anti-gravitational boobs. It happens. Don't be ashamed. Actually, maybe it is something to be ashamed of. Nah, you don't need to be. Okay, so that's there now, which means we can add more clothes. No. We'll actually do some face things. What is this? Is this hair? Oh, that is hair. Face things. Yeah, there. Take those up a notch. Or down a notch. Bring those up. There. And then we will rock you. No, we will continue these out this way a little bit so that we can do these little eye designs. Because witches and stuff? I don't know. I think it's just a neat effect. Trying to keep this somewhat with the curve of that top eyelash. But not down to the mouth. Stop it. Okay. And there. And this one we can actually have go down there. And this one will go here. Because who doesn't love face triangles? Everyone loves face triangles. Except for when they're too big, and then you gotta erase parts of them. Yep. Okay. Oh no, I erased too much of my face triangle. Okay, add a little bit more, and then erase it to blend it in. Okay, so that is a tutorial on how to draw face triangles. I hope you enjoyed. I will erase some hair now because behind clothes. Oh my gosh, does that feel horrible? That feels horrible. I worked so hard for that. Bye hair. Okay, top of the head. We don't need none of that. And we got those. Okie dokes. Well, I think this is about as much as I'll be talking through the video. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching my video. This is Budgies Are Cool. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will eventually get to you. I'm sorry, I've been horrible about that lately, but I will get to you. Every last one of you, I hope. If it makes sense, if the question makes sense, if my brain can handle it. Yeah! Okay. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.